G'day guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, I am wearing the Ireland jersey because I truly do respect the Irish team. Once again tonight, they showed to the world that despite being the second ranked team in the world, number one ranked team in the Northern Hemisphere, the team continue to strive for a better performance. They continue to let newer players opportunities. They continue to work on what they want to work on, regardless of situation, and try to get better at what they do best. And they put themselves under tremendous amount of pressure tonight, and they push through that pressure to deliver a win for the nation. And a very, very, it is a it's a culture that is brewing in the Irish team that is really, really, really impressive for me tonight. They could have come out tonight and kicked a bunch of penalties and probably made the scoreboard look a lot better than 22 points to 19, but they wanted to pressure those tries. They wanted to assert their dominance. They realized that there were some little issues with the handling. There were some issues with the timing, with Prendergast at 10, but they wanted to work through that. Under Test rugby pressure, when the lights are on, when the pressure is high, they wanted to, give that opportunity to Prendergast to improve, give the opportunity for their four pack to work out the little bumps on their handling and get themselves through the difficulties and win the match. And that was very, very, very impressive. They could have easily taken the easy way out, like every other bloody international test team has done, right? Oh my god, we're dropping the ball. Let's just take three, guys. Let's just take three, let's just take three and settle the nerves a little bit, guys. No, the Irish team, they realized what needs to be done and they went for it. And they build, and eventually they got themselves a win. They could have easily won the match by another probably 9 points if they just taken the three every time it was offered to them. But that's not going to make their team better. The same mistakes are going to come on again when the Six Nations comes around, right? And if I needed to know if Prendergast can be relied upon, if they just taken 3 points every time it's on offer, how is he going to work that out? Right? So they have given themselves an opportunity, and most importantly, it's a culture. It's a culture move towards that mentality of being resilient, of being striving, right? Of striving, always striving to get better, and giving themselves the opportunity to do so. And you showed. When time comes, when Six Nations come around, when they're tight, they're behind, they need to try to win the game, they will deliver with the mentality that's been brewing, with the culture that has been growing under the hoods for Andy Farrell and his men. I was very, very impressed by this performance by the Irish team. Especially Prendergast was probably not delivering. The Irish team was behind when Prendergast was on the field, and Andy Farrell kept him on for 65 minutes. He only gave Crowley 15 minutes to come on and fix the issue. It's literally Crowley came on, and Ireland looked just immediately clicked into a bit of a higher gear and just pulled ahead of the Wallabies. And that shows trust on Andy Farrell and his men. He could have easily pull Prendergast off 35 minutes into the game in the first half and had the scoreboard blown out of the water, for the Irish team with Crowley on the field. But no, he wanted to test his players. He wanted to instill onto the younger players the culture, the expectation, the mental toughness that is required to be in the Ireland team. And he gave them the opportunity. And I was very, very impressed by how they handled this game. And it's a really positive sign for a lot of Ireland fans to look forward to the future of the Ireland team. One thing with Prendergast, despite it does look very much like Johnny Sexton, the way he moves, the way his body shape, the lanky looking body shape. He really looks like Johnny Sexton out there. But I think that the one thing, I noticed that he's probably a little bit flat-footed. He kind of waits for the ball to come to him, whereas sometimes he needs to kind of just already start moving to where he needs to go before the ball even gets to him. He's kind of like, the ball kind of gets to him and there's almost a pause of everybody because he's standing still. Everybody around him have to kind of slow down a pace to kind of, you're losing a little bit of momentum there when that happens. I do think that his touch finder was really good. Didn't quite kick the ball dead. He was fighting like 50, 45, 50 meters at times. Didn't quite kick the ball dead because that would have been the end of his career like Billy Burns once was. But hey, he didn't do that. So he delivered on that front. He missed one a conversion from relatively easy position. But outside of that, I thought it was, probably just, had to be a little bit smoother, had to be a little bit, a little bit flat-footed. But other than that, I thought he was, under pressure and didn't quite fall apart. And I think that Andy Farrell really gave him a good test. Andy Farrell really gave him a good test tonight. I thought the scrum was a little bit cheeky from this Irish team. So they were doing this thing where obviously Porter was trying to pop out 2 points in the first half to various degrees of success. But I thought the one thing that Ireland team was doing, especially on the tight hair side, or a Beelan side, in both halves as well, they just occasionally not take the hit and the scrum will go down and it will look like the Wallabies overextended on the push, on the engagement. They would just do that randomly. They don't do that every engagement. They just do that randomly. You can just clearly see on the tight hair side, just not holding the weight. And then, leaving the referee a little bit confused, leaving everybody. I think there was one short on penalty that was given as a result of this. I thought it was a little bit cheeky there from the Irish team on that scrum. The line out was a bit of an issue for the Ireland team for the whole night. If they had got the line out a little bit cleaner, they probably would have scored a bit more tries. The Nick Frost was really well at disrupting some of the lineouts from the Irish team, and that is in addition. Also, the breakdown was a bit of an issue for the Ireland. The Fraser McRae was able to disrupt a lot of that, and I think that overall, the Ireland team was probably just like 1 or 2 paces off here and there, but they're in a good, in a very, very good shape going into the Six Nations. I think the only team that may have a problem with them is the French, but the way that they're going, the way they're building their team, and especially mentally building the younger players up to the level that is required for the team it's looking quite good for the future for the Ireland side. Now with that positives out of the way, I'm probably gonna go a little bit of a rant about the Wallabies, and if you don't like hearing rants or whatever, you can probably just like and whatever, turn off this video. Watching this game, this was a very good scrambling performance of the Wallabies once again this week, and it really makes me angry. I'm very, very angry, and I truly hate Rugby Australia for what they have done to the state of Rugby Australia, right? I don't hate the Wallabies team. I don't hate any players, despite everybody thinks I hate everybody. That's why Suaalii. I don't hate anybody. I do hate Rugby Australia because the amount of talent that was out there on the field tonight for the Wallabies is truly world class. We have the best talent in the world, despite the plethora of people leaving overseas, playing for other nations. The talent we still have is outstanding. That's shown tonight. And all it took for all of these talents to become world-class was one world-class coach under Joe Schmidt. And Rugby Australia has failed to deliver any levels of quality coaching in the Super Rugby levels across the board, because all of these players looked absolutely awful in Super Rugby. And Joe Schmidt turned all of them into international test players. And that is just purely because the failures at Rugby Australia to invest, finding the right talents and coach the players at the Super Rugby level. It absolutely makes me angry when I saw this. Because at the start of the season, I thought Noah Lolesio defensively was a bit of a joke. I thought Andrew Callaway couldn't tackle. They were outstanding tonight. Both Lolesio and Callaway made their tackles, defended well. Lolesio was moved to the wing, right? Something that the All Blacks used to do with Richie Mo'unga, to just defensively put him around the wing position, just to give him that extra bit of advantage, with a sideline next to him, just to minimize him being standing in the middle of the field, getting rammed through by some big number 12 that's, twice his weight. Something that nobody has figured out under the current coaching setup in Rugby Australia. Joe Schmidt came in and is like, this guy shouldn't be tackling people twice his size at the 10 channel, moved him to the wing, and he's immediately better, right? And same with Andrew Callaway. Worked on his tackling, He was struggling against Wales, and he was great tonight. He saved tries, he made his tackles, and that's just coaching. That's just good coaching, something that Rugby Australia has not invested in across the board for these players to grow. Fraser McRae was spectacular. Fraser McRae was spectacular. I thought Noah Lolesio, let's go back to Noah Lolesio a little bit. The one thing I thought Noah could do a little bit better is that he does have a pretty nice boot. He's kicking, he kicked about almost a 50 meter, like 49 meter penalty tonight. But I do notice that his touch finder is a little bit short. He tends to it's not because of his distance. He's kicked it all the way to the fifth row in the stand. So he could have easily, he probably had to just a little bit polish that up a little bit as well. I thought Jake Gordon's box kick as well. Again, he definitely has the distance, but definitely can just milk that a little bit more instead of kicking it out, to the stands. You just have to be. Again, these are not because they're bad players. They have the talent. They have the distance. They can easily kick 50 meters on the box kick with Jake Gordon. But at Super Rugby level, it is not expected for them to kick 45 meters on the box kick. It's okay to just kick it out in 20 meters, right? And that's what he does. He punked the ball out 20 meters ahead of him, and that's good enough. 25 meters ahead of him, that's good enough. That's a good box kick, because that was the expectations under Super Rugby. That's, again, bad coaching, not bad coaching, a lack of quality coaching from Super Rugby because of lack of investment from Rugby Australia, right? So something, again, can improve. A lot of CSO can improve there. But I'm very happy with the progression with these players, the way they attack. Andrew Callaway, the reason why he's improved so much in his defense is because his ability to read the attack much better than he was at Super Rugby, right? Again, it's just good quality coaching from Joe Schmidt, recognize these issues, and boy, these guys really surprised me. And same thing, the Wallabies set piece, everything improved dramatically from the more defense dramatically from when we were against Wales. Just good quality coaching. You're telling me an international test players coming into the Wallabies not knowing how to defend them all? If that's not a lack of failure at Super Rugby level, a lack of failure in investment in rugby by Rugby Australia, I don't know what that is. These players definitely have the talent. Joe Schmidt made these players world class, and it's disgraceful how Rugby Australia has been managing these players over the years, and it's starting to show. Nick Frost was excellent in the lineouts, and and not to mention let's talk about the big sticking point with Joseph Suaalii. Okay, so everybody say he's a great talent. The story is right. And everyone say Rugby should have made the right decision because he's a great talent. So apparently the story is Suaalii, when he finished school at 16 or something, when he became a professional player, he went to Rugby Australia with his agent and asked for a 3-year contract for $100,000 a year. And Rugby Australia said, fuck off and go play rugby league instead. And that's why he went to rugby league. And now, a few years later, the Rugby Australia has to pay him the highest paid player ever to bring him back into rugby union. If that does not boil if that doesn't boil your blood, I don't know what does. I don't know what does, right? And again, let's talk about him, right? So let's talk about him objectively. First of all, I do think he has talent. He's very good size, good height, good vertical jump, decent ball handling. I thought his defense was pretty decent. Good hits left and right, and he's definitely improving the tackling. Again, at the beginning of the season, when he played against England, even when he played against Wales, I thought he was going to send over the red card. He was pretty hard on his tackles, much lower. Again, just good coaching, much lower. Got that rugby league style out of the system. High ball as well. Whilst he's really good getting the ball back for the Wallabies, bit of volleyball skills, because he does have the leap and the height advantage, he hasn't really caught the ball cleanly. I think he did it once against England, maybe. There was a little chip over where he caught it clean. But outside of that, he just hasn't been able to catch the ball clean. Something that I think, again, probably needs to something that he can work on that as well. But it's something that he needs to work on. Yes, you can get the ball back to your side, but being able to catch the ball clean, really brings a much bigger advantage for the team, because once you get the clean catch, the opposition is immediately, has to go backwards because of the offside line when you get tackled. So it's much better than the mass scramble for the ball that is bouncing towards your own teammates. And there was his ability to create space for his teammates. Haven't seen too much of that. He did show some nice passing, good hands every now and then, but really the ability for, especially if you want to play like outside center, is to really create go into contact and then get the offload, create space for create opportunities for players around you. Haven't seen much of that from him, but again, something that can be improved on. I thought defensively, he's probably reading the attack. His ability to read the attack is okay. He did shoot up today and did a nice tackle on Prendergast. I think it was on Prendergast. But again, it's not not quite reading the defensive as well as I guess you would like. Like the rush defense is still a little bit slower than you probably would expect of someone, like Jesse Curry. If you watch Jesse Curry, it's much harder on the rush all the time than Suaalii is tonight. And one thing I would like to kind of compare is, everybody compares him to Israel Folau. Israel Folau, I watched a bit of highlights. It's just, I still think that Folau is, on another level. The ability for him to just, for Folau to just create something out of nowhere, to literally win game by himself. Geez, boy, he was so good, man. He's just literally winning the game by himself. Like, we have not seen any of that from Suaalii. But yeah, the question is he a great talent? Yes. Is he worth $5 million with a $4 million extension at this point already? I don't think so. So again, Rugby Australia, I repeated many times already this video. I just fucking hate the management so much. It's disgraceful. It's fucking disgraceful, the decisions they've made in terms of the lack of investment, the lack of, and they still think that the game is played just by the backs, and it's disgraceful. The beautiful thing about rugby, this is why I always say rugby is the greatest game in the world, is the fact that it's a game for every body size. It's a game for 15 players of different skills, different abilities, different specialties, and every one of the players are important and critical in the success of the team. You can't win a test match without good front rowers, with a good props. You can't win a test match without good flankers. You can't win a test match without your lineouts functioning with good locks. Right? Yeah, Rugby Australia continues to pretend that this is a game just for the backs, just for the back line, and that's all it matters. Because the people that, by the way, in case you don't know, it's something someone needs to tell Rugby Australia. The players that score the most points are actually the forwards, not the backs. The amount of penalties the forwards earn at the breakdown, sure, it's the 10 that kicks it, but the penalty that are earned is from the forwards. The forwards actually score more points than the backs. And yet, the Rugby Australia continue to pretend that this is rugby league, that the investments needs to go into one player in the back line that's going to save everybody. It's awful. It's just fucking awful. So, I don't know. Hopefully the Lions tour brings in a lot of money and Rugby Australia can spend that wisely and really make probably bring back the Rebels, right? Get a proper management in there. Get some proper coaches in there. Get some proper coaches all around the country and really let these players develop the way they should be developing, like we saw under Joe Schmidt, right? So yeah, let's move on. Let's move on. I've already had a 20-minute rant. Let's move on. Match stats: 390 run meters to the Wallabies, 336. 23 turnovers against the Irish, and Fraser McRae did really well. Lots of handling errors as well against the Irish. Not the happiest, but again, they backed themselves. They did not take the 3 points. That was the most important. 16 turnovers conceded against the Wallabies. 18 missed tackles on both sides. Fewer percentage-wise, Wallabies actually ahead because Wallabies had to make more tackles. Again, just improvements under Joe Schmidt, improving those key areas. The defense that Wallabies were lacking. Kicks in play, Ireland 26, Wallabies 33. I think that Ireland just had better range in the kicking. better, like more accuracy on their kicking as well. The Wallabies was not able to get out of the half. Despite the longer kicking range, the Wallabies were just camped inside their own 22 quite a lot. They just pumped the ball down the field, not accurate enough to find the touch, and the Ireland would run it back and let a high ball into 22. They did that a number of times in the second half. Lineouts, 3 lineouts lost against Ireland, and that was to do with some really good disruptive play, especially from Nick Frost. Wallabies, 0 lineout lost. Again, improvement from last week against Scotland. Scrum, nobody won, nobody lost, quite even overall. I do think that Ireland probably had a little bit of edge over the Wallabies in some of that little dark cards, little shenanigans. Penalties, again, 9 for the Wallabies, really good, single digit. 8 against the Irish, really good as well. The referee performance this week, I thought was okay. He missed a bunch of things left and right. I think especially not Collins. Probably, yeah, it's not the most crazy stuff. Like nothing game determining. There was one high shot early on by McCarthy where the Australian commentators said that should have been a yellow card. No, it should not be. It was very, very gentle. It was pretty much absorbing tackle style. And I thought it was just the penalty was sufficient. There was a fend by Rob Valentini where it was, again, I thought that was a bit, probably just a penalty, maybe not even a penalty. I thought he did defend like on the chest, kind of right, went up a little bit on the neck on Mark Hansen, but I thought I was just, again, not the most severe things. Probably should just played on, to be honest with that. But I like the fact that the referee is not just, sending people off with any sort of contact to the head. This has been an issue probably a couple of years ago, but it's really been the interpretation is a little bit more lenient nowadays. I think that the commentary was wrong with that. Like the referee made the right decisions, not just giving out yellow card on the McCarthy one especially. Anyway, let's quickly go through some of the recap. This video is just gonna get blown out of control otherwise. So early on, Ireland had a lot of bit of early dominance, not able to convert into, they were not able to hold on to the ball properly. You talk about 8 minutes or so, despite the dominance of Ireland, for the Wallabies to get a penalty. There was a penalty, and then Nolosio kicked this one, 3 points to nil. This was the McCarthy one where he banged, I think it was, who was it? It was a head-on-head, I think Valentini and McCarthy, and then there was a 3 points to the Wallabies. 18 minutes into the game, the Wallabies are looking pretty good. There was the Ireland wasn't able to capitalize on their opportunities. But the Wallabies had a little, there was a nice little high ball. The ball bounced on the ground for Suaalii to catch it on got the bounce, and he threw the ball back. Wallabies ran down the right-hand side, got tackle close, and then sprung the ball back left quickly. And then good draw and pass, Nolosio draw and pass to Tom Wright, draw and pass as well. Max Jorgensen into the corner, 10 points to nil for the Wallabies. 22 minutes into the game, there was a penalty against the Wallabies. Ireland backed themselves to go the line out. This was the second time they did this. So they pound. Eventually, the quick ball came out, and what was his name? George van der Fleer. Too flat, too quick around the rack into the goal area. Try time for the Ireland. 5 points to the 10. Conversion was missed. 31 minutes into the game. Tupou time. He did a nice little intercept. Ran down the field. Got passed the ball tried to throw the ball to Jeremy Williams, and he got intercepted. And but eventually there was a penalty for the Wallabies, so they kicked this one, 13 points to 5. After this, Ireland had more botched opportunities with their penalties. Eventually, the halftime score was 13 points to 5. Ireland was not able to score before halftime. Second half starts. There was an early penalty to the Irish. They take the 3, 8 points to 13. 49 minutes into the game, there was Ireland got a penalty. They won for the line out. They won for the line out. The ball came down. The quick wrap around from the forwards. Caelan Dora's running right onto the ball, crashed through the middle, and try time. 15 points to 13. Suddenly, Ireland back in front. There was a knock on that was missed by Keenan, but it is what it is. 61 minutes into the but this knock on was a bit too far out from the try, from the penalty. Anyway, 61 minutes into the game, Fraser McWright got another turnover for the Wallabies, and they kick another one. 15 points to 19. Wallabies ahead with about 20 minutes left. It's looking quite tight, and Ireland came out. Instead of, they could easily just kick penalties and probably won this one by a bigger margin, but they were like, nah, they're not going for penalties. They're going for 3. There was they went for one around the 17-minute mark. They got held up, and they went again. 72 minutes, they won for the line out, they won for the more. There was a penalty advantage, and they just pushed through. And McCarthy, youngster, came on, scoring the try, taking the lead for the Ireland, 22 points to 19. Tank Edmund came onto the field for the Wallabies around 75 minutes, and it was taken off immediately. Copied his head on the hip and knocked out. And yeah, there was a bit of a Wallabies try, but not able to build any momentum. There was a bit of a missed pass from Suaalii, and Harry Porter was put on the field 78 minutes. Again, I thought Porter should have been put on a lot sooner than that. I guess 10 Edmund, I understand you only give him 5 minutes because Suaalii is a much better goal kicker. But why is Harry Porter only getting 2 minutes? He should be given more time than 2. I thought he should have been come on. He should have been on. Maybe for Andrew Callaway, he should have come on a lot earlier than that. Maybe at least 15 minutes. I think Harry Porter should have been given. Only 2 minutes on the field, but yeah, it wasn't enough. Wallabies was able to finally build a few phases, looking for a draw, but eventually there was a knock on in the ruck, and that was the end of that. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts, guys. Pretty exciting, future. Looking forward to the Lions tour. The Lions king Andy Farrell did not look happy with the performance. Obviously, lots of little things to work on going into the Six Nations. And I thought, again, Rugby Australia needs to really improve the overall coaching quality across the board. And we'll see. We'll see how this goes for the Lions tour. And thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and really appreciate everybody watching my videos over the year. And we'll have a bit of break. I might do some URC stuff coming up. And heading to Christmas, I got a video about the world rankings. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next week for the news. Cheers.